Peace, everyone at HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media. And before we introduce our guest for tonight, just want to give a quick shout out to our HHDG fam that makes up Propha KB, the Mayor, Skelly Top, T. Smith, and myself, Wiki. Always a joint effort to get everything done every week like this. We got the website, the merch going live with the hoodies and t-shirts. It's hoodie season now. Go copy merch. Got it on the website. The YouTube and everything going right now. Definitely check that out. Now, we're going to talk about our upcoming guest, who is a HomeTeam member. This will be our fourth interview with the HomeTeam. Coming out of Toronto, we have Propha Allison.
Hello. Greetings and salutations.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Now, for you, coming up, which came first for you, DJing or production?
DJing.
Okay. Yeah. About what age was that?
Started around, I'd say 13, 14 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Was anyone growing up that you seen that, that's what I want to do? I want to DJ?
Well, my pops used to DJ locally.
Okay.
And then my homies that I went to grade school with, SoundQuest. So that's Frankie and Joey Kondo. Those guys were kind of big in the game at that time. And they put me on, so just went from there.
Now, what kind of music did your father DJ?
Soul, funk, soca, a whole bunch of stuff.
Got the soak up in there.
Yeah. That's
what's up.
Yeah.
So what did you start DJing? What kind of music did you start out with?
Hip hop, R&B.
Okay. And
then I dabbled with the reggae, but my homie that was part of the crew, he didn't know the reggae guy at the time. So, so it was me, my brother, and my homie. And so he was the DJ guy. My brother and me did the hip hop R&B mostly, but we all switched up.
Oh, okay. So aside from what you were DJing, was there any other music that you listened to that you didn't DJ?
I listened to everything, to be honest with you.
Everything?
There's with the music, no holds barred. Everything's on the table for me.
Cool. So what was your first set of turntables?
They were called Genexas. It was something that was sold at this electronic store called Consumers Distributing, I think it was at the time. They were a cheap, flimsy piece of plastic turntables, but I mean, they had the pitch control, so
yeah,
it taught us to learn to mix first before anything else. Like our mixing game was pretty tight.
Nice. Yeah. And those were belt drives?
Yeah, belt.
Yep.
No weight at all.
No weight, yeah. So you if you can handle those, you're good. Yep, exactly. Dope. So when did you start to think about the production?
Probably when I was around 17, 18 years old, I'd say. I had another friend from grade school too that was pretty deep into it, and he put me on to the right equipment to start off with. So, like my first pieces I bought were, I got a VSA 40, a Roland, and I got the MPT 2000. And then from there, just kept rolling.
Just went from there.
Yeah.
You remember the first thing that you sampled?
I couldn't tell you what it was, to be honest with you. I have no clue.
No clue.
No idea. I'll sample anything, but I just I kind of have an ear for it, you know. Like it just hits me like a groove sometimes. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm hearing out in my ear.
Right.
And I gotta try and find a way to figure out what it is. Ever since Shazam came along, it made it a lot easier. But through my dad having a like extensive record collection and hearing him play growing up,
Right.
a lot of my sound comes from that soul sound, that that 70s, 80s, 60s, even soul.
Now, being that Toronto has a big Caribbean community, is that where your father was originally from? You come from the Caribbean? Or his grandparents?
My father is originally from Trinidad.
Okay.
My mom is Canadian, but mixed up, more European, interracial relationships. I'm mixed. I'm mixed with a whole bunch of stuff. All mixed up.
So now tell us about growing up in Scarborough.
Scarborough at the time when I was growing up, it was a tough place. I mean, I grew up in metro housing, and I grew up in the harder areas in Scarborough at the time. So, like anybody from that era, if you just say the name Bay Mills, Glendale, they know already what it was like, you know. So, I mean, you grew up in an area like that. All your friends, you kind of like. I was lucky. I had my mom in my life, but most of my friends didn't have their fathers in their lives, right? So we all just became brothers, more or less, and looked out for one another. Trials and tribulations of life, you know, you get to get that little knucklehead in you, and you do stupid stuff when you're young, you know. It takes time. Some people like me, especially, I have to learn the hard way. You know, some people you can talk to them and they get it. I tend to want to just feel the fire myself, I guess. And then I learned my lesson. But yeah, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. I wouldn't say your environment makes you completely who you are, but it does have a bearing on who you are.
Yeah, you start to make those decisions of what you commonly see every day. You know, if you want to continue to go down that road, you know, if it's a negative path, or you want to try and make a change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For me, the change for me really happened when I had my first child, my daughter. So she really that was a turning point for me. I was never like super bad. Don't get me wrong, you know, but definitely I wouldn't say 10 toes in the game, but I had it here or there, you know. Yeah. So
I understand. I mean, if you grow up in that type of neighborhood, it's hard to not at some point be slightly involved in it.
Yeah, you're around it all the time. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So it is what it is.
So how does your daughter? Does your daughter gravitate to any of the production?
No, but she's
No.
artistic though. Nah.
Okay.
She's more on the visual art side.
Oh, okay, that's nice. So has she inspired any of your artwork for your covers?
Actually, she did my logo.
Ah,
She was the one that did the logo for me.
nice.
Yeah. Super talented girl. Should I say woman? Yeah, she's big now. So.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So who tell us some artists when you started with production that that you laid down the sound for when you first started out?
Well, on this last project that I put out, if you listen to the track Rags Bars did, the imported distortion,
Yeah.
He's somebody that I work with. Me and him go back to like when my daughter was small too, when I first started out. And we together we were working together. At the time, he called himself the creator, and I was Prophecy. So we ended up doing a demo called it Procreation, and it got picked up. And like a major label, Sony BMG, tried to sign us, but they were offering us so kind of one of those ones where they want to own your soul. So we left with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's someone that's been there from the jump, basically. He's a super talented artist. But again, in life, you kind of put that on the back burner, taking care of his family, doing the 9 to 5 thing. So he just came out of the woodworks and did this track for me here. So.
Okay, that's dope.
Can always draw
now,
friends.
Now, what about Drew Mills? Is he another person that you known for a while?
Yeah, Drew's a younger cat from where I grew up. So he's foundation to the area we're from here. Where I heard him when I first started producing. He was just a kid, and I heard him rapping, and I told him, like you have something special, just keep on it. Like don't give it up. Like whatever road you take. I see something in him, and I know a lot of people that hear it as well. He's a really talented guy, so I feel like he can really take it to the next level.
Yeah, I think the first time I might have heard him with you was that Man Solo?
Oh, Man Solo, yeah. That later got turned into Juice. He's super talented.
Now the beat tape that you put out, what was it? Mike Food.
Yeah.
I like how you put the twist on that with the first letter being the names of each track.
Yeah. We made it like an acronym.
Right. So you it was basically like you were saying, this is for the MCs.
Exactly.
Spit over it or purchase it.
Yeah. That's basically that's it in a nutshell. That's exactly what it is. For sure.
Did anybody reach out for any of those tracks?
Yeah, I got a couple of purchases, and I have an artist that will remain nameless, but I gave him one of the beats. I told him don't worry, pay me for it, whatever, just take it on a lease type of deal without actual payments, but non-exclusive. But I haven't heard anything. I don't know if he finished it, didn't send it through, or what. But I haven't spoken to him in a minute, so it is what it is.
Yeah. One of my favorites on there was the Orange Juice Jones track.
Yeah. I like that one too. Perfectly named too.
Now, was this your first official beat tape that you put out?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. And how many beat tapes before this did you make before you wanted to put this one out?
I made beat tapes, but it was more for around the way. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I never put it out with the intention of selling to anybody or anything. Just you'd hear the guys in the neighborhood rolling
playing it.
Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
But this is the first one where I said, okay, let me just throw it out there, see if anybody bites.
Nice. And then in 2020, you put out your next beat tape, the Beat Flex.
Yep.
Tell us how that came to be.
Exactly how the first one came to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just I just need to put something out, and I've had projects that I'm working on, and it's when you don't have money to pay an artist to be on to feature on your track, or when I say don't have money, I don't want to pay anybody to be on my beats right now. So it's like you put out a beat tape because there's so many artists out there that you'll give them a pack or maybe even 2 beats, whatever, and then you're waiting on them. The ball's in their court, you know.
Yeah.
And I know life. Nobody's really eating off of this unless they're really eating off of it. So these guys, everybody's out there doing their 9 to 5. They got their wife and kids, you know, like they have to. They don't have time all the time to really finish the projects. So and with no skin in the game, you can't really like fight anybody, you know. Just gotta wait it out. So I was like, yeah, let me put out another one. I made some change off the first one. Let's do it again, see what happens, you know. So, might as well. Told you, man, I'm not a big talker.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, here I'm just like pressure, under pressure. Yeah, man.
It's all right. So now you told us a little bit about you coming up with the DJing, and then when you dabbled into the production to what people know you for now with the production.
Yeah.
So when did HomeTeam come into it as the whole family?
You know, HomeTeam is the best way to describe it for me. I would say it's a blessing. I mean, it was an app. There's an app. I'm not going to say the name of the app, but I'm sure you've probably heard somebody else mention it. But pretty much, I went on there just because I rap, you know, like I write bars, but I don't take it serious. I used to, but ever since I turned down that deal, I haven't really taken it seriously. So I've just been on the production side. But I was like, this app seems cool. Let me just mess with it, you know, for shits and giggles, see what comes of it. And I ended up seeing Killy, and I was like, you know, like I'm on here for a joke, but this guy sounds pretty tight, you know. Like he's sick with it. Like I know when I hear it, I can hear it. I can tell if an artist has it or doesn't have it. And I was like, this guy's got it. So, and I think he had actually liked something that I had rapped on, and I was like, you know, whatever. And so we started talking on there basically, and then it was like, you know what, I'll send you a beat. I produced too. Oh, I didn't know you produced. I'm like, all right, I'll send you a beat. So, and then we started like messing around like that, and then him and Payne were the ones that pretty much put this thing together, the whole HomeTeam. And then they brought people in one by one, and I was like one of the later guys. Like I said, a blessing for me, you know, because everybody in there, I'm a fan of. I rate them. I can listen to them because I'm a guy. I don't really listen to the new stuff that often. I do just to have an ear for it, more or less. But there's not a lot of it that I like. And when I say new stuff, I mean like the new style of hip hop. You know, like I like that '90s sound. So that's what I'm partial to. These guys have it, and I'm just like I'm saying, I'm a super fan. Like honestly, I can play a Chuck Chan album, I could play a Killy album, I could play a Payne album, and I play an Onaje album. You know, like it makes me proud to be a part of it because I'm super impressed with what these guys do. You know, like,
right.
Like I think Onaje and Chan are two of the best producers I've heard in a long time. You know, and like I'm a big Primo fan myself. So if I'm rating you to me, in my opinion, you're doing something right. And these guys they're doing something right. You know?
Yeah. I mean, the whole crew is talented all across.
Yeah, right across the board.
Yep. Yeah. So with that being said about you talking about Anaje and Chuck Chan, you got that competition right there for you.
Yeah, it's a fire. Lights a fire under you, you know, because I mean you don't want to be last on on the bill, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, these guys super talented, super impressive. And just from me DJing all those years, like I still have a lot of friends that are big in the DJ game still. Like
Mhm.
I'm not doing it, but when I play stuff from the team for them, or I send them something and say play it, they're amazed. They're just like, this is top notch music. So
Mhm.
it's just gonna take one break.
Yeah.
One break. The team stacked. It's super stacked. It's like I know there's a lot of good teams out there, but I feel like we're more Globetrotter than Harlem Globetrotters than anybody else out there right now. Like, can come from anywhere, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what's great about the whole crew.
yeah. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I'll toot those guys' horns because they are they're amazing, honestly. And anybody that's watching this that hasn't tuned in, you're missing out. Go check it out. Trust me.
Like, you definitely got some bangers out there.
Uh,
I
my
mean, you
personal
got that.
favorite.
What's that?
My personal favorite from me, I like the
Mhm.
China White, the Kimmy Shoot, the China White track that,
Ah, okay.
and the Juno, the Juice track, the same man solo track you're talking about. Yeah.
Hmm. Now, what about that early track? I wasn't too familiar with Sharky and was it Iverson?
Oh, Iverson Black, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a track that they had put out, and I just did a remix to it
Hmm.
because Iverson Black's another friend of mine. Shout out to him too because he's a super talented guy. He's been rapping for as long as I've been producing too. He used to go under the name Skits before, and now he's Iverson Black. So, but yeah, super talented guy, super down to earth. Like, just all around a really good guy.
Hmm.
But yeah, he did that track with Sharky, and kind of think I think I heard it, and then I texted him or whatever, and I was like, you know what, let me just mess with the remix, and he's like, of course, like, go at it, right? So I've done a few of them, but he's a real stickler for the music too. Like, so if he's not feeling it, it's not
Hmm.
getting put out. that's a that's just the way it is. So
Yeah.
yeah, really good guy.
That beat,
Toronto has a lot of really good artists.
you definitely do. I always say that there's always something good coming out of there. I mean, I grew up listening to Toronto stuff since the 90s, so I was familiar with Thrust, Chauclair,
Right,
Cardinal, the Rascals, Frankenstein.
right.
Yeah, so definitely it continues. There's always something good coming out of the city.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, Drew Mills, I post that anywhere. Drew's got it. Tona, I don't know why Tona's not bigger than he is because he's
Yeah, he's
super hot.
very talented. Yeah.
Yeah. Don Bon Jovi is another artist too. Another artist close. He's like these are people that are like fam to me and my brother.
Okay. Mm.
So they're all like it's amazing how it's like we're just surrounded by the talent. It's almost like it was meant to be. This is my path. You know what I mean? The music it's in me, number one, but I'm just I couldn't write a better story. It's just gravitating around me. I don't know how else to explain it, but it is definitely a part of me and something that I love. I'll never give it up. I don't have to make a penny from it. I'll still do it.
You can read just the words and then, okay?
I mean, you love the music. I mean, and I'm sure with the experience in DJing, you have the mind of so many sounds. So I'm sure, like when it comes to your production, there's certain times that you probably go back to a record that you spun, or maybe even that your father spun, that you want something from that, or something that reminds you, so that you go get that record to play it. Just there was something in it that you wanted to put into your work.
For sure, for sure. Even right now, like sometimes my dad doesn't. He used to play music all the time. He doesn't play it as often anymore. But every time he does, he'll throw on a record, and I'll be like, Dad, stop that, stop that. What track is that? Let me go back. I gotta
Hmm.
hear that again. There's always something,
Yeah,
especially in that funk soul genre. Where there's always a
always.
horn. There's
Hmm.
always something I hear that if it's something I feel like I can't I can't jack, I'll try to mimic it. But music is a beautiful thing. I can't lie.
Definitely. So about how big is that music library?
It's big. I couldn't tell you the number of records and
Uh-huh.
albums, but it's big. It's big and it's dusty right now.
Hmm.
It's collecting dust.
Taking up a whole room.
Yes, it's something. Yeah.
Now let's talk about your latest project that came out this month,
Right.
Dark Matter Visions. Let's start with that the title, and then the artwork. How did that come to be?
Uh, well, I think it's not thinking. It's kind of like me. It's where I was at. I try not to delve too deep into darkness, but
Mhm.
it's been a rough few years for me. I mean, even before the pandemic started, I was already going through some of the hardest times of my life, right? So, like, I won't go into too much details, but
Mhm.
it's been a really rough ride for me recently, and
Either
yeah, I don't
coaching
know.
chair, which you want me to wear in the bathroom.
I was working on the beats and just searching for artwork, and I went down this psychedelic hole, like a rabbit hole of psychedelic art. And this one just spoke to me, and it was just perfect in every way for what I was feeling at that time. Kind of like almost like everything was just like surrounding me, and I was like in a deep tunnel, and like I'm seeing the light, but I just don't know how to get out to it, you know. And when I saw this artwork, it just worked. It worked with the sound that I had in my head, like what I was envisioning. And then, so I looked at more of the artist's work, and he's a very talented guy too, Michael Devine, on that psychedelic art. Very, very talented. So, I mean, the artwork by itself takes you on a journey. You don't even have to hear a lick, and you're already, you know. I actually wanted to take the project even darker, but then I kind of started reaching the light myself, and I kind of felt like a dark road is not the road to take. And in all honesty, going forward, I think I'm going to try to be on a more positive path with music because it's definitely needed right now.
Mhm.
So that's going to be my task for myself. Like,
Okay. Now, would you say that the portion of the cover is that you in the fetal position near near the center of the cover?
it
Like
it
as far as your mindset, were you saying that you were in a dark place?
it I see myself, but I also see a lot of the people around me as well. Like it, it hasn't been. I mean, like I said, my rough time started before the pandemic.
Mhm.
A lot of people since the pandemic have just been going through some really rough times. So I've seen like people that I love in that position. Yeah, no problem.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so back to the question, I do see myself, and that's who I saw originally. That's why I went with it, but it wasn't just me I saw, because a lot of people I know have been having a hard time, basically.
Yeah, it's definitely everywhere, you know. And then with having everyone confined to their homes, I mean, it's like you basically turning everyone into a hermit, and you know, not everybody can handle that.
No.
And then some people that you know they live by themselves, so that can make it worse. You know, got cabin fever, make people go stir crazy. We need that human interaction, and you know, you just cut it off like that. You know, who knows how people are going to react to it?
Exactly. I mean, I was just reading, I don't know, they were saying the murder rate or whatever is 30% increased in the States since. Seems like a byproduct, you know, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably not the right topic to get into in this discussion, but yeah, it's really deep what's going on. It's really deep, dangerous, and dark.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it wasn't for my faith, I'm a man of faith, so that's what got me through. That's what's getting me through. That's what's always gotten me through. So.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
And as you speak of the faith, for anyone that hasn't seen it yet, if you see the top portion of the album cover, you see the positive and the light shining through from above. The rays, the skies. You see that. Go ahead.
You see the light shining. You see the scales of justice and judgment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
On one side, that's why that piece of artwork it covers everything perfectly for me, in my opinion. It's something you can look at and you have to think. If you don't think, then I don't think you'll ever think, you know.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful.
And then the first track with Achilles shooting General back pain, titled Torture Chamber, just brings you right into it. Yeah. And as you go through the album, you start to go through and bring you to more of a positive side.
Exactly. And then the outro was just a little message of the way I think things are headed. Yeah.
Yeah. Which,
I mean, is being said blatantly out right now anyways, right? So.
Yeah. And shout out to my fellow Staten Islander, Squeegee O, on the album.
Yeah, Squeegee.
How'd you link up with him?
I just heard, again, just another artist. I heard him, and I thought he was super talented, so I reached out, you know. I said, you know what? Like, this is it. I think you're dope. I'll send you a beat if you want. And he was like, yeah, sure, send it through. And he did
nice.
Yeah. So it is what it is, you know. I love good people like that, you know, because a lot of people, there's people that don't have any reason to be pompous and they're already full of themselves, you know. Like, I don't think that's the way anybody should be, but just my opinion, right? But, I mean, if somebody reached out to me, I'm humble, you know. I'm gonna listen. That's just who I am. I think the world needs more people like that, you know. So yeah, definitely Squeegee. He did his thing. I can't yeah. Super talented. You probably hear me say super talented very often during this interview. These guys, awesome.
Yeah, but you're not loosely using the word with any artist.
No. Not
that's the difference right there. So there's nothing wrong with saying it. I mean, you're speaking of some high caliber MCs.
Yeah. For the project I put more beats out to more people. The project could have been like 15 tracks long, but I went with this, what I have. A few of the other tracks I'm gonna run on another project, they just weren't suitable for what I had in mind for this one. But some of them I just cut completely. That I'm not gonna sugarcoat it either. I'll let you know, like, it's not up to par or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lucky enough, I'm surrounded by enough talented artists. I could do it in house, you know, just with HomeTeam alone. The project would be amazing.
Yeah.
Which is when that project gets complete, I think it's gonna shock some people.
That you know, that's almost the same thing I hear every time I speak with y'all. And you know what? I'm 100% confident in everything they all say about it.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time because it has to be perfect.
Yeah,
it's gonna be perfect. So everybody's so busy. Everybody's working on multiple projects with multiple producers, multiple artists. But this one's just simmering. So the flavor has to be right. It's gonna keep simmering, so it's right. Once it's right, that's it.
serve it up.
Serve it up, exactly. Yeah. You don't need to add salt. You don't need to add nothing. Perfect.
So, what production equipment are you using these days for your projects?
Oh, you will be surprised to know if I. So, all my original equipment, I ended up selling, and I had nothing. So, rather than build back up, I ended up just messing around, just bored one day, trying out a few programs here and there on my phone. I was making beats on my phone. The Juice track, the Man Solo song, the beat I made on my cell phone. Then I grabbed that an iPad and I started working on the iPad. So pretty much everything that you've heard from when I started messing with Killy on has been made either on my cell phone or on an iPad. I know a lot of producers are gonna hate me for that, but it is what it is. They shouldn't hate me because I had all the equipment. I've done that. I've dumped money into this. But yeah, I have other producers praising me for it, like saying that's amazing. You know, like use what you got, and what you're making sounds dope. So who can argue with it? You know. So.
Yep.
I mean, it is what it is.
It's not specifically the equipment. It's the talent coming from the producer.
Right. And the ear, I mean, I know I have a good ear for samples for sure. Because sometimes I amaze myself because I'll hear something, I know what I want. I hear it in my head the way I want to play it out. I want to cut it up, whatever. And then when I actually hear it through a speaker, I'm just, kudos, good for you. Good job. Mind blown. Yeah. It's really it's in me, but I have a love for it, and if I don't do it, I don't know what I would do. It's my pastime, it's my hobby, it's my love, it's my joy, it's my peace, it's my freedom, it's my peace of mind. You know what I mean? Like it's my release.
Yeah.
Really, really and truly. I guess that sums it all up. What else would I be doing? Getting too old to ball. Can't go. You know? So, yeah.
Basketball is one of your favorite sports?
Yeah, definitely. Started out soccer. I got pretty far actually in soccer. I was doing very well. you reach a point, you start thinking about other things like girls, but soccer, basketball, hockey. I love hockey too.
Okay.
Not a huge football fan, but maybe that's because football never really was a big sport in Canada. We have the CFL, but can't compare
Yeah.
to the NFL. So it's getting bigger now, that's for sure.
Interesting. Okay. Now, being a man of faith, did that have anything to do with your name?
Definitely. Yeah. I don't have no elaboration on that, but yeah, yeah, for sure. But
So, was it a name that you decided on, or did it come from someone else?
no, that's a name I picked for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Like on the streets, totally different name. But when it came to the production, even DJing, I had a different name as well too. It had nothing to do with DJing. It was just what people used to call me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, with this new project out, you also, before I knew about this, were working on another project with a fellow home team member, Deuce Hennessy, called Barking.
Yeah.
How's that
Well,
coming along?
that project is pretty much complete. Deuce is a particular gentleman. He's very particular with his craft, very particular with what he's putting out. So at this point, the name of the title is being changed, but he's dealing with the mixing and mastering of the project
Okay.
himself. But it's pretty much done as far as our conversations have gone. So should be dropping soon. Just waiting on him to send it over, and we'll get going. But yeah, that one's got some bangers on it too. Deuce, like I said, we'll use the word super talented. He's a super talented guy, and a very strong lyricist in my opinion. Like he's very witty,
Mhm.
and sometimes you gotta listen 2-3 times if you're not paying attention to really catch the message, because
Because, mm,
it's deeper than you may think at first glance. Definitely when he spit. But yeah, there's a couple of tracks on there that I'm totally blown away with. One of them I know definitely with the right backing could cross over and be pushed as a huge track, especially in the times we're in right now.
yeah,
But yeah, it's sounding good from what I'm hearing so far. So I mean, my part's done. I did my part. I'm not a I don't have a great ear for engineering. I fancy myself more a beat maker than a
mhm,
producer. If I had to give myself the title, I would. But just because I put these things together, I'm a producer. I try to engineer it the best I can. A lot of my stuff before, Chan was the one that was doing the mastering for me. So like a lot of the like little indie tracks we put out, the little solo tracks here and there, it was Chan who was doing the mixing and mastering. So
okay,
shout out to Chan too. Chan, all these guys are. You heard it from them. You can hear. I'll reiterate the same thing. A band of brothers is not a joke. Like we really care for each other. We talk to one another. Like I haven't been talking as much recently. I've been busy,
mhm,
but yeah, we get down. Like Chan is on the phone, he's FaceTiming me, talking to my son. You know what I mean? Like that's the way the crew is. It's
that's
really
beautiful.
dope too.
Yeah,
And the fact that we span all across North America, I think it gives it extra flavor. You're not getting one sound, you're getting
yeah,
a broad range.
and just we could go a little bit further into your style of production that I like is you talked about the soul samples and what you grew up on, but you give a variety in your production.
Yeah, that's something it's not by mistake. I try to do that.
Mhm.
Like I said, my heart is really in the '90s sound, but I make whatever I'm feeling at that time.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it doesn't just show, but it's evident, and I mean, it's it's nice. Like I find it nice because you can kind of get drawn into one sound, and then the repetitiveness gets boring. You know, like for me, if my mood is here, then that's what you're gonna hear in my music. If my mood is there, that's what you're gonna hear in my music. Like, that's all there is to that. It is what it is.
Now, are there any artists that you would like to work with?
In the sense of underground or
Just
anything.
anything, yeah.
I mean, my dream, I would love to get down with KRS One day.
Mhm.
Like that. He's been. I have top, like people say, what's your top five? I have a shirt that has my top five, but my top five is never a steady top five because again, like maybe it's the Gemini in me, but like my mood changes, right? So I mean, I can't say that I have a steady top five, but I could say in my if I have a steady one that would be in every top five, which is KRS. Like
Okay.
you couldn't ask me on any given day and me not mention his name. You know, other than that, like I mean, Beanie Siegel is amazing to me. You know, rest in peace, Sean P. Sean P. is amazing. Like you
Yeah.
know, Most Def is amazing. I mean, there's so many artists out there, but like again, depending on your mood and who knows, maybe depending on their mood too, what what they're gonna give you at that given time, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, KRS for sure. From the time I started, if anybody had asked me, I would say if I had the chance to work with KRS,
Mhm.
I would embrace it for sure.
Have you ever remixed some of his tracks with your own production?
No, I
No.
haven't, but there's an idea. I've done many KRS remixes in the past, but
Okay.
never,
See.
never with my own productions. Yeah, so
Okay.
maybe instead of a beat tape, I'll do a little KRS mix
There you
remix
go.
tape. That'd be dope, actually. Thanks.
Might catch his ear.
You're gonna have, yeah, you're gonna have to have credits on that one. Yeah.
That's dope, man. Yeah. Definitely great talking with you.
You too.
See,
Well, I have a question for you.
I got you to speak.
Yeah, I know. Honest to God, anybody that knows me, you have to be in my tight circle to get me
Mm,
to trip to open up. But
mm.
yeah, like this was nice, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Cool.
I have a question for you. I
Go ahead.
see E and C, right? Jube.
Mhm.
That's the
That's just my online name for
okay.
everything. Yeah, yeah.
Which Jube is it though? Is it Ninja
From
Scroll
like
Jube?
Ninja Scroll, Yakyu Jubei, all the pretty much the historical stuff from Japan.
Right.
I gravitated to and started reading a lot on the history back in the day.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just stuck with it.
That's dope.
But yeah, definitely Ninja Scroll is one of my favorite animes. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. If you don't put that up there, then you don't know anime in my books.
Yeah, yeah.
Baki Hama, Kira, you know what I mean?
You're right. Yep.
Good old days, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's still some good stuff out there.
Yeah, for sure. My sons are into it. They love it. And my nephews, they all love it too.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that new Baki Hanma
The,
next season to come out.
yeah, I watched the first one. It was dope.
Hmm. Yep.
It's come a long way, but
Yeah. Did you ever see the original one?
yeah.
Yeah.
The homie pulled the optical nerve.
Yeah. The nerve there.
Breaks the optical. Yeah, that's great anime, man.
Yeah. Definitely.
Fist of the North Star is another amazing one too. I love that those days, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really keep up with the new ones, but I did watch the first season of Baki Hama,
Okay.
the new one.
Yeah.
But like I have my nephew every time. Oh, uncle, you gotta watch this one. Uncle, you gotta watch that one.
Yeah, there's so much out there, but that's great. You got your nephew, give you some recommendations.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Prophecy Allison, everyone. Thank you
Thank you.
for
Peace
taking the
and
time.
guidance, prosperity. The whole
Definitely.
nine.
Same with you.
It's all
Now,
love. It's all love.
yes, definitely. As always, tell the people where they can reach out to you on your socials and where they can go out and listen and support your music.
Right now, you can get the album on Bandcamp. You search up Prophecy Allison, PROPHACALLISON, on anything, any of the socials, you'll find me. And hoping to get these tracks up on all streaming sites within the next 2 weeks, hopefully. And we'll see where we go from there. We got to do the remix, the KRS remix.
There you go. Yeah, definitely, man.
Sounds like a plan. All right, thanks for having me.
Thank you. On behalf of everyone at HHDG Media, I'm going to say peace.
Yeah, peace from HomeTeam, from Toronto, Canada, Scarborough. You're in Scarborough. Blessings, everyone.
Thank you, man. Thank you.